Well, I'm a recent convert to the TM-6 Pro. There's always been an air of mysticism about triggers and what they do. Roland have made it really, really simple with the trigger module. Obviously we had TM2 before that with 2 triggers, and you can split to 4 on a Y cable. With this, essentially, it's so easy to use. So we have 6 trigger inputs on my kit here, and I've purposely bought a tiny kit so you can hear the difference. So I've got a 16-inch bass drum, an 8-inch rack tom, and a 12-inch floor tom with a 14-inch snare. And they've all got triggers on them: single zones, dual zones, and the kick trigger. I use the TM-6 Pro. I've just recently done a clinic tour and I'm taking it out doing the drum and bass thing live recently. I use it to, firstly, to layer a sound on top of my acoustic sounds. Now, as the guys at home can probably see, there's only 2 acoustic mics on this kit. There's just 2 overheads. There's nothing on the drums. Everything that you hear is a layered sound, and it's all presets off the module. For example, and this is the kind of wow factor. I mean, we've all done those gigs over the years where you set up in a pub or club and aimed at the real working drummer, how we all cut our teeth, is you're sat in, you've got a small area to play in. You've got no microphones, and the guitarist moans and the bass player moans, and it's noise, noise, noise. With the TM-6 Pro, it's so simple to get complete direct sound in your ears. So this is how I do it. So I've got a trigger, which sends the signal down into the module here. And I've also got direct outputs as well. So the sound engineer can literally put kick, snare, tom 1, tom 2 in the out front, which is amazing and really powerful. So I've got a tom. So what you'll probably hear here is the overhead sound and the triggered sound off the TM-6 Pro. So the tom's obviously an 8-inch tom, it's quite high pitched, and the triggered sound is low. So I will just show you how I would use it to create my perfect drum sound. So it's a coated head. I'd want that head in a pub or club or whatever to resonate a little bit. I'd love beautiful tone for days. I'd like it to be maple, and this is how I'm going to achieve it. So I would just go, firstly, I'm going to get the right pitch. I'm going to pitch match to the drum. So I put an ear in, and the great thing about TM-6 Pro, it's so simple to edit. So I've got this button here which gets me the top line or the bottom line. I'll just go to pitch, and I'll go up to the pitch of the drum with the sample. And there's my sound. So that is the right sound that I want. Now it's quite dead, so I want to open that up. Obviously there's no mics on the kit. I must stress that. So I'd go to menu, I'd go to kit effects, and I go to reverb, and I will set it to on. I can adjust each individual send of each instrument if I wanted to. So there is my drum sound, and exactly the same here. I mean, it's probably the coolest thing to do. If I get the guys to switch off the TM-6 Pro, you can just hear the kit in its raw form. So just an acoustic kit. This is what you get. So obviously the overheads are going to pick up the metals, and it's going to pick up the front end attack. The TM-6, if I get the guys to turn the TM-6 on, you can hear the 16-inch kick drum goes into with a sound over it, and this is just one sample off the box. It turns it into a massive, massive kick drum. And once again, the toms come alive. So that is my sound. I'm replicating the acoustic tones with the TM-6 Pro. So no microphones, overheads, and then I can go straight to my out front mix. And the great thing is I can go out of my headphones straight into my ears. And I'm not monitoring the overheads, or if there was loads of mics, I wouldn't be monitoring the mics. I'm monitoring the TM-6 Pro triggers. And it gives you a perfect sound in your ears every time. And it keeps the volume down as well. So how I monitor my electronics and acoustic sounds, I would take the headphones into a desk behind me if I wanted to mix, and I put the band mix into that desk if I wanted to. And then this literally, and they made it so simple. On the front of the TM-6 Pro, the headphones level is there. So my kit monitoring is absolutely right in front of you. So if you think, oh, that's too loud, too quiet, I can do it. Or I can do it on the desk if I wanted to. it's really, really, really simple. It's really, really simple. And the sound in my ears is down. I can hear enough acoustic sound bleeding just through my headphones. I've got the sample, the pure sound that I want in my ears, and it becomes so simple. Practicing is, I mean, electronics, I've been using electronics for years. And, you know, it's that thing about how can you use them? A lot of guys use them for acoustic settings. A lot of guys use them for percussion. If you have creative headspace, you can create anything with electronics. Practicing wise, I'll show you some patches. It's probably easier. So if I go to something like here, it's Kit 21. So it's a Latin patch. Now, if I was to switch it off, I'll get the guys to switch the TM-6 off again. All you're going to get if I'm doing this is rim clicks. Should be picked up on the overheads. With the TM-6, I can play rim sounds, but it also incorporates velocity switching. So if I'm playing a sound like a conga, if I hit it harder, it creates that slap sound. So it's a wonderful thing. So you can then think into the headspace of, I want to try and compose, and I want to put my hands where it's normally on the kit, it's uninspiring. With the TM-6, you can create any sound anywhere you like on the kit. So let me just show you. So I'll create a little ostinato with the feet, and I'll just play these congas over the top. And because the triggered sound is so fast in your ears, when you're playing it, that's the sound you're getting back in your ears. But instead of doing a solo that's based around rim clicks, I'm doing a solo based around music. So the question probably a lot of people will ask is, I mean, these are factory sounds I'm playing. You can import your own samples, your own sounds. It's quite a dark art. People tend to get quite confused. It's so simple. I have got here just an SD card. I can find my sample source. I can record anything I want, put it onto the SD card, put it into the module, and then I can put them anywhere I want onto the kit. So if, let's say for example, the interesting thing here, I've used this kit or half of this kit on tour last year. This was the right-hand side of the kit, and it's a 16-inch bass drum. It was playing massive 808 sounds. Some of them are factory, some of them like our own sounds. So you can create all sorts of stuff. You can put little backing tracks on there and want to trigger backing tracks. So I have, like I say, 6 triggers here, or with a Y cable, I can double up to 12. Any sound or any sample I hear or want, put on my SD card and assign it. It's so simple. Let me show you very quickly. If I go to menu, I go to instrument. You can probably see on the screen here, I have my acoustic sound, but I have the ability to put a sound A and a sound B. So if I switch them, right, so sound A is a shallow kick drum. This is layered with the acoustic off the overheads. I'll switch B to on, I'll go down to B, and I can layer a second sound on that. So, or more processed kick drum if I wanted to, like a hip hop kick. So you got all the depth you wanted to. So 2 sounds you can layer onto a drum. So you can have the front end attack, you can have elements. I can also EQ the sound if I wanted to. So if the tom wasn't quite cutting it in the mix, I could just EQ a little bit of front end attack. So I can tailor it to me, whatever style of music that anyone plays, whether you're doing a wedding gig, a corporate gig, whether you want to sound like the original, you can with TM-6 Pro. For practicing, or for triggering tracks live, you can also put backing tracks on there. So it has a song player, which you can separate the click as well. So you can have the click in your ear. I just press song in the song menu, and it goes into what all songs are here. Everything, anything you want to play, backing track wise, you can trigger off the TM-6.